Every generation has its commanders, has its generals, has its statesmen, and those executing critical ways forward, putting down the intellectual underpinnings of the future. And just as the state visionary Theodor Herzl in Israeli history put down the vision of a state as a place of security for all the minorities, the Jewish minorities in all their variations, because he himself was from Serbia, or his grandparents were from Serbia. And they migrated first of all to Hungary, and then from there to Vienna, and then he was a journalist in France, and they're representing a great cross-section of minority thinking and identity. And this is why he called for a state to secure the variations of and the subtleties of being a minority and being entitled to think in variant ways from the majority. He was attributed to have been awakened to the Zionist need from the trial of Dreyfus, who was considered was believed to have been a spy against his own citizenship, and later on he was cleared of the charges. But in fact, Herzl was known in his early development as a writer, as a script writer, and it looks like this was a continuation of a tradition of forming reality in words and images, and the extension of that idea is known in the history of our culture, of the Jewish culture, of Semitic culture. That is to give language, to give names, to give grammatical conjugation to reality via storytelling and via the use of words. And the natural extension of that was in statecraft and in the creation of laws. And that's what Moses did as the celebration of the linguistic family. Was to create a legal structure which was embodied in the Ten Commandments, and later on the full body of the biblical thought, and then rabbinic thought and language. And this is celebrated as a technique for crafting reality within statecraft, within laws. And Theodor Herzl was well aware of this tradition when he believed that this needs to be recast, that sovereignty needs to be regained over identity and over the issues that we want to pursue and to be secure in pursuing, and that is through the medium of a state. And so too, in the 21st century, in this beginning part, right now, there has become a crisis of sovereignty, where sovereignty, which we have worked so hard over thousands of years to take away from the hands of dukes and kings and dictators, now it has been returned into the hands of small groups of people, of finance and of large companies. And it has been held hostage in the form of data, and also of the genealogies of data. So the only way to secure it is almost like to regain and to fight as generals over the commonwealth, over the treasures of the state, and over the liberty of the state, and the liberties of the individuals that combine the state, by securing their knowledge base.